about TuitionFit a little bit, because it seems like, you know, we have the answer. It's just like accumulating this data, right?
Mhm.
And so it's really up to us as the general public it's this sharing of information, right? That really helps balance this equation. So talk a little bit about TuitionFit. What's that process look like? You know, if I want to use TuitionFit for my family, you know, what do I need to do? What kind of information do I have access to?
Yeah, we tried to make it a really simple process because it really does require the public to say, you know what, I want to fix this, so I'm going to get involved. The way that colleges organize prices is a really pretty straightforward matrix where they have academic merit on the vertical and financial need on the horizontal. And um, then whenever a student applies, they look at, okay, the student's got this test score and this GPA. And then the student's got this EFC, expected family contribution. It's the result of filling out the FAFSA. Essentially, once they do that, then they have a matrix that says, okay, if you have this test score and high school GPA and this EFC, this is the price we're going to offer you. If you get a different test score and a different EFC, that price we're going to offer you. So when a student signs up to TuitionFit, we just ask them, what was your test score? What's your high school GPA? And then what's your EFC? And if you've got one, plug it in from the FAFSA. If you don't, you can use an EFC estimator. There's a whole bunch of those online. Or if you know you're fairly well off and you just want to plug in $80,000, even though that's not, you would never do that. That's where fine. Because once you get to that point, colleges don't really parse at that point. And then you just take a picture of your financial aid award offer and you upload it to TuitionFit. And that's it. Then what we do is we verify that it's a real letter. Then we redact all of the private information on that letter. So any name and address, anything that might be a named scholarship that somebody could then Google and say, oh, the Johnson Scholarship at School X was for a student from this county who wants to do this major. We'll redact anything that would even get somebody close to being able to identify who received that award letter. Then we show it to you and say, are you good with these redactions? And if you're not good with it, then we can't put it into the system. You might say, hey, could you redact this other word here? Because that feels like a little great, fine, no problem. Because it's a trust exercise here ultimately in sharing that stuff. Then once you've approved it, then it goes into the system. And now because you've shared an award letter or more than one, which is always better because we'll help you sort of compare award letters for free, because you shared, now you get to see all of the other offers that have been shared by students or families just like you. The same academics and same financial need. And now you get to put your prices in context and you get to see, wait a minute, there's all these other kids that have gotten offers from schools that I don't think are all that different, and they're 10 grand less than what I'm looking at.
Right.
I'm going to do something about that, right? Or if you're lucky, wow, I got an awesome deal. I feel way more better about taking it, right?
Right.
Same kind of thing you get when you go to Car Gurus or when you go to Kelley Blue. I mean, the same kind of thing that we're used to doing in so many other shopping experiences, you can now do with TuitionFit.
And how many people have actually uploaded to TuitionFit now?
Just this year, we've had over 5,000 students from all over the country, really of all different types, upload award letters. So we now have a data set that is closing in on 6,500, 7,000 prices and offers from colleges and universities all over the country.
Yeah.
And what that allows people to do is just start to put their prices in context. You just give the consumer power.
Yeah, I'm even thinking, you know, if I'm a good student, I've worked hard, I've got a decent GPA, you know, even if I want to go to a particular school, at least now I know what, you know, I get that award letter and say, you know, I can come back to them even and say, hey, you know, I see that everybody else is paying $5 grand less, you know, how about you give me a better deal, right? I mean, man, what powerful information to have in the consumer's hands.
people change the way they think about this when you put it in
Yeah.
concrete terms.
Yeah.
Value is dependent on knowing price, right?
Yeah.
Because everyone's value is different based on what their price is.
Yep.
So that is what's happened with TuitionFit. And for people who use it, it completely changes the nature of the conversation they're having about college, and they're able to make much more informed decisions about what they do.